Great little trip here on Moorea. It's good to see my friends and hang out. Moses rented a couple of those little cars from the neighbor here, Claude. He's got a small rental car business, very nice. I'll put a link in the description. Very fair deal, and he's even giving me a ride. I don't know what it is, 10 kilometers maybe, back to the ferry. Save me a taxi or waiting an hour for maybe the bus will show up, maybe it won't. I'm gonna try to head back to Papeete tonight, spend a night there, and then get on a flight back to Auckland, continuing on to Melbourne, Australia. And hopefully everything will work out for Moses and his family, because Air Tahiti Niue is on strike right now for the past 3 or 4 days. So they need to get that sorted out. I think we heard rumor that American Airlines, their partner, is sending planes over to get stranded guests. I'm sure it'll all work out. I think he still has 2 more nights. So I'm kind of bummed out leaving the island of Moorea. That was a great visit. Some of my best friends in the world, good people. And I just had a great conversation with my van driver. We dropped the cars off, with Claude. And he's got a guy who shuttles people to his rental car home. And as they dropped off some clients, I just hopped in and he zoomed me over here the 10 or 15 minutes to the ferry. So I'm crossing the channel again from Moorea to Papeete. I'm not on this ferry. Mine's entering the channel. You could easily just walk up on and jump on whichever, but here comes mine, and I already bought a round trip ticket. Yeah, that's mine. I believe it's the, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. I'm saying Artemis. It might be Artemi. I think it's the Artemi 6. And I believe I saved maybe $5 US by buying a round trip. She said buy the round trip and you can use the return ticket anytime within a year. Now this is the city bus if you're lucky enough to catch it. However, I think there is 2 buses going in the circle around the island. So one time I waited a good 30 minutes for the next bus to come. It's cheap. 300 franc or $3 will get you all around the island. Cabs are a little expensive. I think 25 to 30 bucks is kind of the norm. And down below they carry cars, trucks. I saw small semis full of sand and gravel coming aboard. I think this one here, this Vodafone I believe is a cell phone company, but this company here I think is more the industrial sized vehicles. Well, this is the ferry too. I came over on the ferry 6, but it was more cars and motorbikes. Today is Monday morning, so there's fairly frequent service, but yesterday on Sunday, I believe our friends who live on the island said there was only 1 ferry maybe coming and going. I'm not sure, but just look it up and look for more limited service on a Sunday. And back on the boat, talking to a nice couple in line from New Zealand, just over here on a vacation. They're on the same flight as I am, the 3:15 in the morning, back to Auckland. So we got a 45-minute crossing back over to Papeete. Just got off the ferry, but I'm just wandering around. I took like a 2-minute look on Agoda. That was nothing special, just a bunch of $100 rooms. So I figured I'd just drag my little suitcase around for, I'll give it a half hour. If I see a little hotel or just a room over a restaurant or something, I'm just by myself. No big deal, I just need a bed and a shower. And it looks like I stumbled one across the main markets. Looks like we're on Notre Dame Street. And that is the city bus I took from the airport to get to the ferry. It was 200 franc. Hopefully I'll be able to take that back to the airport. I'm assuming, this being a little bit larger city, it's gonna run till midnight. And we're just one block from the marinas and the ferry area. Show humor, magic, and stand-up. Tout, tout, tout. It's definitely busier here than on the island of Moorea, but that's okay. Via de Papeete, Park Bougainville. Maybe it's just Bougainville Park. I said Bougainville like the plant, but it says the park is named after Count Louis Antoine Bougainville, 1729 to 1811, a great navigator, explorer, and scientist. And if you have to check out of your hotel at whatever, 11, and you have a little bit of time before the ferry, it's just really right across. The ferry's maybe not even 1 kilometer to the right. I've been walking around about a half hour, just dragging I'm packing a little tiny suitcase, usually backpack, but as I'm getting older, just dragging that little suitcase makes life a little bit easier. Again, no plans, didn't get a room, there's no shortage of places to stay, so I figured I'd just roll into town, roll around, and many places are not on Agoda or Expedia or Hotels.com. You need to get here and you'll walk right by it, maybe save 50 bucks a night. When I got here from Auckland, yeah, I just booked the closest hotel to the airport. I'm sure it was nothing special for 120, 130 bucks a night. It's all about convenience. But getting off that ferry at, I don't even know what time it is, noon, 12:30, I have plenty of time just to look around. I'm gonna do that anyhow. If I walk by the perfect place, great. If not, no big deal. Just drop 120 bucks on another room, not a problem. I'm gonna get about a couple of blocks away. That's the harbor over here, and I passed 2 hotels that I saw listed for over 200 bucks a night, just because they're tourist friendly, 500 feet from the ferry, all that kind of thing. If you wander back 3-4 blocks, now you're kind of getting into the scary uncharted territory. But if you're not afraid to walk 4 or 5 blocks and look around, once again, like I'm gonna do anyhow, you might find a great deal tucked away back there. And I'm not sure what this is. Looks like some kind of a government building. People lined up waiting to get in. Some construction going on over here. It is July 2023, maybe 70 degrees. It feels great. Nice little wind blowing. And across the street it says Ministry of Justice, so I'm not sure if that's a police station or the jail, maybe both. And it looks like I missed out on some big celebration. They're breaking down the chairs. Obviously this was like a big parade ground. And I have no idea where I wandered to, some fancy residence with guards. I'm not really sure if this is open to the public, but nobody stopped me from walking in, so I'll take a quick peek. So a gentleman just told me this is the president of French Polynesia's offices. I thought he was going to chase me away, and he asked, would you like me to take your picture? I didn't want to stick a camera in his face, but that was probably the first time I ever saw somebody wearing a Hawaiian print shirt with a pistol. Looks like a nice food truck on the corner. And I think I'm on, what was that, Dumont Durville Street? About 3 big blocks back from the ferries. Or the waterfront anyhow. Looks like a school with some hoops. Artwork all over the buildings, really nice. There's the Chicago burger. It says it has French tacos. Cool little neighborhoods. We're getting about 5 blocks from the marina, heading up towards the hills. I'm really gonna miss those baguettes back in Thailand. All right, I got hungry, so I took a pit stop for the $3 salami sandwich on a nice fresh baguette. Have a little lunch here with the roosters. Here's a couple of nice apartment buildings, maybe 4 blocks from the marina, if you're looking to stay a while. It's like a little carnival tucked away, and I'm pretty far back here. I'm probably 3 or 4 miles, but I'm right on a bus line, and most of these buses say Papeete, which I'm assuming is Papeete, the airport, Papeete. So I'm not really worried about it. Just head straight down this street, and eventually in a mile or 2 you're gonna hit the marina area. Can't really get lost. Out exploring. Nowhere to be. So after doing a little exploring around the city, I knew about this Kon-Tiki. Some people call it a capsule hotel. I don't. The true capsule hotels in Tokyo or even Bangkok at the airport, they're just that. They're a little box, and you can't stand up in it or even hardly sit up in it. So this isn't that. but it's a small room, and it doesn't have a bathroom. The bathrooms are shared, so it's just a big bunk here and a big bunk up there, but hardly a capsule. It has a little fridge, Wi-Fi, free breakfast, TV. Just right to the right is 6 shared baths, but they're individual. So when you're in there, it's not full-on gym locker style, but not bad. This is 100 feet from the ferry station, and tonight was $65. Now, I knew about it, but I was just wandering in the back area there in case I could find a little small mom and pop hotel that may or may not be on Expedia or any of the big sites. I didn't really see one. I saw a couple of pretty nasty looking places, and I stuck my head in one, and they still wanted, I think it was $70. And I knew this place was here for 70 or less. Maybe it was 75 with tax. So this is perfect. Checked in, gonna clean up and go out and grab a beer. Nothing with my tiny little room at all. I just put the air conditioner on and it's freezing in here, so I need to turn it off. I've got a little refrigerator, Wi-Fi. Bathroom and shower, nice and clean, cleaner than any locker room I've ever been in. No complaints at all for $65 a night. Of course, your prices might vary. Here's a little breakfast area. And once again, I rarely even wake up for the breakfast. I think it's continental, and I didn't even look. I think it was $12 or $15. I'm sure I'd much rather just grab something from a street truck or a local restaurant. And here's the Kon-Tiki, and that is the terminal for the ferries to Moorea. And here's the Nissan dealership here in Tahiti. The one thing when I checked in, I walked in, I'm on Agoda, Expedia, all these different websites. Agoda to me is the best. It's Asian based. I think it started in Thailand and now it's based in Singapore, but it 99.9% of the time is going to have the best rate. You can look at Expedia and Booking.com, and a lot of these are really owned by the same outfit now. I don't even know, but Agoda always seems to be 20-30% cheaper. So I walked into this place and I said, hey, I have an Agoda rate of 65 US bucks, and she's like, oh, no, it's almost $200 a night here. I can't touch that. I mean, if you can book that, I don't believe you can book that, but you go ahead and do it. So I booked it for 2 nights right in front of her, and now they kicked in another $25 of tax or something like that. No big deal. But she was even surprised. She said, I don't know how you got it that low, but how it worked was I'm platinum, silver, something like that. I mean, and I get all these discounts, like book such and such hotel within the next hour and get 40% off, and that's exactly what it was. So I don't know if Agoda subsidizes, I don't know what they do to keep you coming back as a customer, but whatever it is, it works, because I always go to Agoda first, and I always seem to save money. So probably my last 25-30 hotel bookings have been through Agoda, and I've saved money. So yeah, that's my go-to place. They even have the Agoda Cash now. When you and I don't know exactly how it works. You can book a room for $100 a night and earn $2 Agoda Cash, or $110 a night and earn $10 Agoda Cash, that kind of thing. And then you can apply that cash to a future stay. And it looks like this place gets going probably on the weekends. They have a stage set up. And I was being super polite. I saw on my phone it was, I think, 67 US dollars. And when she quoted that 200, I wasn't rude or anything like that. I just said, oh, well, I can get it at Agoda, for this price. So I'm going to sit here in the lobby and book it. And then that's when she said, well, hold on, let me have you talk to this other person and maybe she can match you with the Booking.com price. I wasn't doing Booking.com. That's out of the UK, and Agoda, I think, is better. So she said I can match the Booking.com price of $90 a night. And I said, once again, respectfully, I can get it for 65, so let me go ahead and book it. And then when she kind of said, well, I don't think you can get it for 65, but go ahead. And then I did about 10 seconds later. I'm not sure exactly what time it is. I think it's about 5 p.m. on a Monday. I'm just out walking around, looking at the city, gonna grab a beer. We just got some bad news that Moses and his family, they're all on Air Tahiti, and Air Tahiti's been on strike for the past 3-4 days. I was really hoping that would end quickly, but I just talked to 2 people in my lobby and they said they've been stranded here for a couple of days and they're just now getting rerouted from, I don't know exactly, from here to New Caledonia, and then New Caledonia on, I think, Air New Zealand to Auckland, then Auckland to Sydney finally, rather than, I think it was a nice easy flight from here to Auckland to Sydney with staying on the same plane, I think. Anyhow, it's kind of turning into a big hassle, so hopefully things go smooth with getting that flight back to LA. And there's the Wind Spirit in port. I don't know if that's one of those Windjammer cruises, small cruise ships, beautiful ship. One other reason to possibly book your tickets through a partner airline, in the case of Air Tahiti Nui, their partners are American Airlines, part of One World, and they were also part of Alaska Airlines. I'm not sure how that's working. I know Alaska now joined One World, but always compare the prices. I know Moses booked through Air Tahiti, so he's going to be in the queue on the phone with thousands of other people trying to change an Air Tahiti flight. If he would have booked the ticket through American, you're going to be on the exact same plane, just with an American ticket. Now you're American Airlines problem, and they deal with Air Tahiti, and that's going to be a much smaller number. So even if it's $50 more, let's say the Air Tahiti ticket is $1,000 and the American is $1,050, you're still going to be on an Air Tahiti flight. American, I don't believe, flies here to Papeete, but you'll be an American Airlines customer, if that makes sense. So when something goes wrong, like these cancellations, then American has to accommodate you. And worst case scenario, if Air Tahiti is like, well, just get home on your own and we'll give you a credit, or we'll give you Air Tahiti miles or something like that, that might not be as helpful as getting $1,000 American Airlines credit in a worst case scenario. Just out of coincidence, that's exactly what I did. Was I flew here on American Airlines miles on an Air Tahiti plane. I'm flying home on Air New Zealand with, I don't even remember, Delta miles. I can't keep track of all the miles, but I'm always one person's customer on another person's airline.